Hello, and hello. Welcome to another edition of the A Woman's Soul Restored podcast. And look who's with me, my co-host. Amen. We just give God glory in all things. And we have a doozy today since it's after the holiday. We want to give you all some tips on how to get past the Thanksgiving fog. Um, I did an episode in season 3 about um, how to prepare for the holidays and not to be overwhelmed. But sometimes we get overwhelmed anyway. So we want to share some things with you all today for after the fact. If you cook too much, or if you had a lot of family over and it's time to go back to work Monday and you trying to still recover from Thanksgiving and all the festivities. So we want to help you out today with just sharing some tips and some information to help you emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever you need to get over the hump to get through to the next week after Thanksgiving. So we hope you all had a wonderful one, and we're just going to jump right into it. So, who want to go first?
I guess I can go first. Um, of course, before I talked about mental health, but with mental health after the Thanksgiving holidays, preparing to go to Christmas, it's so many things that you've done. You saw your family. First of all, you get anxious, excited to see them. The next thing you know, sometimes you can start worrying because you maybe spent a little too much. You can start getting depressed because okay, Christmas coming up. I got to get this for the kids, that for the kids. I done spent all this money on this turkey, this dressing. Or if you traveled out of town, sometimes you know, the finances are great. And sometimes you can sink into depression. But the main thing is not to sink into depression. First of all, we have to be thankful for the time, everything that happened, for seeing our family, even if we didn't have family, to come down and see us, if we was by ourselves, just thankful that we are here, and thankful that we are alive. We could see another Thanksgiving, that we could have spent the money that we spent, and always remember that God will provide. Uh, I was preparing earlier because I do youth. I teach the youth at my church, and we were talking today about in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. And everything, no matter what's going on, you have to be thankful, because it could have been worse. It's always some situation that's worse than the situation you in. Don't get worried. Don't get depressed. Don't be in a fog. If you need help, just call somebody to help you, or always reach out. Reach out to a pastor, a counselor, or anything, or your husband, your wife, your family. Talk about it. And maybe it's somebody can help you with something that you usually don't ask help for.
Right, right. Awesome advice. Before Tamara speaks though, because Patricia's already been on and she gave her brief introduction before we did our episode a few episodes back. But Tamara hasn't been introduced. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, Tamara, before you get into what you want to share with us this evening.
Hello, everyone. I am Tamara Brown Hodges. I am a woman of God who loves the Lord. I am have a bachelor's degree in social work, so most of my time I've spent as either a case manager, counseling. I've worked with those with disabilities, and also veterans who are homeless. Also, as far as just working for the state determining benefits. So I have a variety of experience doing a variety of things. And I currently, I'm an advocate. I advocate for those who have been sexually abused. And so I'm just an advocate, and I love to empower women on this health and wellness journey. and
Yeah.
we try to, do that together. Do that together. We don't want to gain any weight, so actually we just started a maintain your weight challenge for the holidays. So that's what we're promoting and trying to do, and that's just a little
Yeah.
bit about me.
Awesome. Awesome. So what would you like to share with us this evening?
I just want to make sure everyone knows that when it comes down to holidays, you could be dealing with the loss of a loved one. You can be dealing with the isolation of family, not being or coming around. You may not have family to spend time
Mm-hmm.
with, and they may not come around, or you may have, even if you have children that you don't get to see, um, for whatever reason, but we
Yeah.
still we still have to continue to pray. We can't get depressed about that, but there's a lot of
Right.
emotions, especially when it comes down to people that are grieving the loss
Mm-hmm.
of one, and during the
Yeah.
holiday season it could be somebody that passed just recently, or could be somebody that you close to, like your mother, your
Yeah.
father. Just that this time of the year, people just have all kinds of emotions. But to keep the emotions intact, I would recommend before the holidays come, start preparing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you
Yes.
don't, you try to think of the joyous memories that you've had with your loved ones, so you don't get sunk, you don't sink in that spirit, get depressed. So
Right.
you something happy, something that they enjoyed doing, or something that you can just keep your spirits lifted during that time. But I would start preparing and doing that beforehand, because we know the holidays is coming every year, and then we find ourselves getting, down and depressed about what we don't have, instead of being thankful and grateful for who is there.
Exactly.
You hopefully you'll be able to spend some time, with family. But if
Right.
not, think that you're still here, and be grateful and thankful, for having life. And then if you don't have family, reach out to, hopefully you got some friends that you can
Yeah.
all come together and be together with your friends, because everybody don't have family, and then some people don't have friends. But I
Yeah.
would I would advise just getting have a circle of people that you could spend time with during the holidays. If you don't have that mother or father, husband, wife, so
Mm.
that you don't isolate yourself. That's one thing I would recommend isolating yourself and just being alone, because that's when those thoughts
Right.
come in even more.
Exactly.
Be emotionally
Exactly.
ready, ready holidays. We have to, because I know even with myself, mentally prepare, because the people that you so used to being with, we have to mentally prepare ourselves, and that's
Right. Right.
you got to mentally, be prepared
Yeah. Yeah.
for
And
holidays.
that's important because we think we're gonna do the same routine, and sometimes that can get overwhelming too, doing the same routine. Okay, Thanksgiving, we know we're gonna cook the traditional dinner for the most part for most of us, and it could be overwhelming. So yeah, you since you already know what you're gonna do, you know you got family coming over. You might not know the amount, but you know you got family coming over. You know how you felt last year and the previous years when you did it and you had family and you did all that cooking or what have you, and how you felt afterwards. So use that to propel yourself to prepare, as Tamara said,
Mhm.
for so you won't be doing the same rat race over and over and over. Put something in place so you keep in mind, okay, this is how I felt in previous years. I don't want to feel that way this year. I don't want to go through all that. And if you have felt that, if you did that this year for Thanksgiving, you still got hope for Christmas. We still got another thing, a holiday coming right up. So you have to really, and I like that, being mentally prepared
Yeah.
yourself for something. We prepare ourselves to go to work. That's a regular routine. If you're working outside the home, you get up every day, you do the same thing, but it's routine. Holidays are the same thing. You get up, you either cook the night before, some people take that whole week and just cook little things at a time. But whatever you do, you do it repetitively for every Thanksgiving/Christmas. So why not do something different this year? Look at it differently. Look at how you felt in the past, that heaviness, that weight. You want to be able to enjoy your family and not feel overwhelmed when they're gone, and then getting mad about, well, they had me cooking all that stuff. They ain't had you cooking nothing. You made a choice to cook all that stuff. You made a choice to host all those people. You probably called some more extra. Them like, yeah, come on, I done cook this and cook that. And then now you in cook's remorse, because you done overwhelmed yourself with overload. And for me, I've done it. So I'm not just saying that for our audience. I've done it for years. Because I like to see people, and I know Patricia's the same way. She like to cook. We like to invite the family over. We just like them to be happy. We want them to eat. We want to fellowship. We want to laugh. We want to enjoy each other, and just say we had that holiday meal with the family. But then here go the next day, even if we done ate too much. The next day or the next 2 days, we just hardly can get up out of bed because we done overwhelmed ourselves with festivities and just doing extra. And what the young people say, doing the most. Did the most. So what do y'all say to that person that, yeah, we're past Thanksgiving and that's done, and they really truly don't want to make the same mistake for Christmas? Would y'all add anything to what I just said, or do you have any thoughts to help that person to not make the same mistake again?
I have before I answer that, I have an add on to what Tamara said earlier. When she was talking about, being alone, have loved ones that they lost. I would advise, as being a mental health specialist, to get involved with different activities for different groups, shelters and stuff like that. It will make you feel so much better, especially when you're alone. I've done that before, when I, was in a certain place in my life and I didn't have a lot of family around. I got involved with shelters and doing things, and it made me feel so good. So when my family couldn't be around, I was serving people, I was helping people, and just doing something for someone else. And I think that will make you feel better too. Once we're past Thanksgiving, going into Christmas, not to fall in that same depression, or, I done spent too much, I done ate too much, or I done cooked too much, I gotta clean up this house, instead of, doing that, change it up. Maybe let one person cook this, one person cook that, bring potlucks. You can do that, or, like I say, get involved with outside activities. Go somewhere. Take something to somebody else's house. Take something to a shelter. Feed the hungry. It's different things that you can do. I remember when I was younger and I had custody of my two sisters when our father passed away. I said we were going to do something different for Christmas, and what I did was I got $5 and I went and got some envelopes with that $5 from the dollar store. So I was able to get those ones, they have like 6 cards in there for like $1 or whatever. So I got some of those. And then I went to the bank and I got like $100. And I got in $5. And me and my girls, we passed it out to people in the streets, not just the homeless. We just gave Merry Christmas, and it made us feel so good. And everybody was like, oh my goodness, for me, it'll make you feel good to share the love. You may not have $5. You may only have one, but that's one more dollar that you're giving to somebody else that they did not have. You don't have to do it with just money. You can give something, give clothes, give love, just, show up to an older person's house, do something different, change the narrative.
Especially this time of year, as many shelters looking for help. Um, Many people doing organizations or groups doing food giveaways, and they need help. And you really could make yourself useful by offering your services, because they're not going to turn you down. They're not going to say, no, we got too many people, we don't need your help. They're going to welcome you, show you how they lay out is, because all of them not the same. Everybody got their own protocol and how they do things. So they're going to show you what to do and welcome you, and it's going to help them, and it's going to help you not be in a rut for the holidays. Tamara, you got something?
I just want
Love
to
that.
add what Trisha, I love what Trisha said too, do something
Yeah.
different. But I also just want to add that, I don't know what their, your beliefs are, but pray about it and ask
Yeah.
God to help you. Not make that same mistake that whatever you did, they got you feeling that way. Ask God to
Right.
help you when it comes down to Christmas. Because you got the Christmas and you got New Year's coming, right after that. So ask God to
Right.
help you and be with you, and ask him to show you, what it is that you can do. Something different, because you don't want to go through that same, that same way and being stuck. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that this is how I felt. I don't want to feel that way, because it don't feel good, to be, lonely and like I said, just isolating yourself, not being
Yeah.
around people. And some people choose to do that, but that's not a good feeling. That's not a good
Right.
thing, thing to do. And that's why they end up staying depressed, because they don't want to be around anybody. Oh, that woe is me, and nobody don't love me, and all of that
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I would definitely recommend asking God to help you. What is it that I can do? And like Trista said, being a
Right.
blessing to somebody else. It's a blessing to be a blessing to people you don't even know.
Right.
You know
Right.
how much they would appreciate the blessing. Like I said, $1, $5, just a little hand, it could be some lotion or something. You give it to them and let them know,
Yeah.
hey, Merry Christmas. I'm sharing the love. Like we always say, we may not have much, but we use what we got.
Right.
You can
Right.
use
Right.
what you got to be able to be a blessing to somebody else. You don't know what they, they might not have gotten anything. Or nobody called them. Nobody texted them. Nobody, anything. But just to show a little kindness, a little love, and it could be a
Yeah.
perfect stranger.
Do that. Let them find, that's training. You have to train up a child when they're young, and they'll want to do it every year because it is real exciting. Everybody out in the streets, and you giving something, and it'll teach those kids. And let them give something that they like, maybe a toy that they wanted. Let them go and give it to a child, or just randomly up on the street, Merry Christmas, and it will teach them to give, and they love it. I love it. It's exciting.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This
It is. It
just
is.
a blessing to someone else, because you don't even have to know the person to be kind and be a blessing to them, because you just never know who God put in you that, hey, I need to get, let me give this. It could
Yeah.
be anything. That I don't give people nothing I don't want, but just something that I want,
Right.
people, don't, not just anything, but just, and be happy about it,
Yeah.
to not be
Yeah, that's the
begrudgingly,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, be
Be happy. Don't
begrudgingly
just
about
give
stuff.
somebody something and say here.
Yeah,
Be happy about it. Because if you try to throw something to me, I'm gonna say that's okay, thank you, but no thank you.
you don't give
Because
somebody
all of us want
you know. That's
right, right.
always, people like to sometimes they give stuff or whatever, or something that you wouldn't want or whatever. I
Yeah,
wouldn't want this, or not in good condition or something. It just anything you just don't do. You don't do that.
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Because we wouldn't want anybody to do that to us.
Oh,
So we don't do anything to anybody that we don't want done to us.
yeah.
Rule of thumb. Y'all both have gave very good insights. And the thing I forgot about, which Tamara brought up, was New Year's is here we go with New Year. And we
Yeah.
kind of forget New Year sometimes because we're saying, well, that's the reset. We're starting a new year. But that's right after Christmas. So it's still inclusive in that holiday festivities. Those of us that's old school, we cooking Hoppin' John, we still in that cooking mode of doing it.
Yeah.
So here we go, the beginning of the year, we still stressed out again because we done did some more cooking on top of all the big cooking we did for Christmas. So yeah, it's time to change the narrative and do something different.
Different.
If you want to now, some people, I've gotten to a point now that I'm cool with it.
Mhm.
I would be funny if I didn't cook. I'm in a situation now where I had to make a choice. Either I'm going to try to cook and stretch it out over some days or
Mhm.
not cook at all. And it was really bothering me that I wasn't going to be able to cook at all because people come over to my house to eat. Some people that really don't have. They know Tanya cooking, so we can go to Tanya house. I love that. So I made a decision to step outside what I usually do because I usually just stay up all night and cook. That's how I saw my grandmama did. So I grew up doing the same thing and just continued. I know I can't do that now physically. So I'm just gonna stretch it out Tuesday and Wednesday and then wrap it up Thursday morning and be done. But that makes me happy and I'm not putting too much stress on myself. I'm not making a demand on myself, but I gotta do this. I want to do this and I'm not gonna feel bad about it because the last few years I've been doing it and I feel good. Even the cleanup. I don't want nobody to help me clean up. I got it. I just want y'all to have fun and eat. But that's not everybody's plateau. That's not they do it because it's expected sometimes. You know, that you got that family member that people look to like, yeah, we going to so and so house because we know what they gonna do. And they know people feel that way about them, so they go out the way to try to make sure that everything's in place. There's no dust nowhere. Everything's clean. Everybody has a nice place to sit, all the cushions fluffed up and all that. But they're doing that out of expectation. They're not doing that out of joy. They're doing it because it's expected.
Mm,
And when everybody leaves and everything's over and you start cleaning up or whatever, that's when the truth hits you. I really didn't want to do this, but you already knew you didn't want to do it. You did it because it was expected. So we need to be honest with ourselves about some things. We need to not make it seem like people making us do stuff. We putting that on us because sometimes, like I said, we calling people, letting them know I'm doing so and so.
oh,
They wouldn't know if they call them. So when we put stuff on ourselves and then people answer the call when we do it, you can't then get mad at somebody for answering what you asked them to do.
right.
So we have to, in our minds, change the perspective of how we think about things, how we approach things. Don't do any more than you can do, even if it's expected. You know, um, it gets to a point where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're sick and tired of yourself. Why am I like this? Why do I keep putting myself in this situation? Why? And that's the same thing with that repetitiveness. Every year, same thing, same thing. And then you pile on more stuff. And it's like, I'm just tired. But you don't know how to stop. What do you say to that person that just don't know how to stop? They want to stop. And in their mind, they're like, I don't need to do this. But it's something in them that's triggering and maybe our mental health specialist could ask help us with this. And I know Tamara, you probably could approach it from that social aspect too. What makes a person continue to do the same thing with the same result, but they can't stop?
I'll go out the way and I'll just do all this great stuff. And I'll be so tired, I can't even enjoy the festivities because I'm so tired. And every single time I do it over and over and over again. What we have to do, we have to change the narrative. We got to change it. We can't let the narrative change us because what we're going to do is we're going to fall into that stupor and then we're not going to have happiness or joy. We're going to be depressed. No, we can't be that. We're going to have to force ourselves to change. Try something new, like we said earlier. That's the only thing that like Tamara said earlier, you have to pray and you have to get courage because a lot of times it's hard for us to change things. They become habits. And once we become habits, it's like conditioning. Even if we don't want to do it, we still do it because it becomes our characteristics. It becomes a part of us. Everybody knows in my family, oh, Trisha gonna have a birthday party. She gonna do it myself. And I have Tanya be fussing at me. Trisha, don't try to do it yourself. Everybody, you know you gonna do it, so nobody don't do. And so I have to change me. And I have to say, okay, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to let everybody else help. You have to change yourself. It's hard sometimes to change those behaviors, but we have to do it. If we want to change. But if we don't want to change, we won't. We won't change. We'll keep doing the same thing. And some people love to do that. Some people love to complain. Oh, I'm doing all this, doing all that. Some people just love it. It's just dumb. It give them that attention. But you know, I'm not looking for that attention. I'm starting to change me, even with the Thanksgiving holidays coming gone and Christmas coming up. This year for Thanksgiving, I paid somebody to cook certain stuff for me and my family. You know, my husband's ex mother in law, they were cooking, you know, stuff. They cooked meals, and I had to cook the collard greens and mac and cheese. I did my own dressing, but you know, her dressing also, so that you know, I won't have a whole load on me to do. I paid them the money. Why not do that? They love cooking. They're older, you know, and their cooking is good. That's what I did. And guess what? Wasn't tired. You know, so we just have to change us.
Awesome. Yes. Yes. That is excellent advice. If you can get it done outward and alleviate that stress, that is awesome. Okay, but here's the kicker. What if you can't do that? What if you can't get somebody out? What if you can't outsource? Then what you do?
Where if you can't go on the outside, then you're gonna have to change it. You're going to have to sit down and do, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. You're going to have to start breaking it down. Okay, last year I cooked collard greens, turkey, dressing, ham, this and that and the other. This year, I'm just going to cook maybe something that's a little less. If you cook dressing from scratch, maybe you might do a box dressing. Not that you may like it or not, even though I don't like box dressing, but I got a cheat sheet to it. I have a cheat sheet. Long as you make your cornbread, you can mix that box dressing with that cornbread, and you got dressing, and it's wonderful. That's my cheat sheet. Don't tell nobody I told you that. But anyway, you. But it's different things you might have to, you know, cut the meal in half. You may not have turkey dressing and ham. Maybe you may have just a ham. Ham is easy because you just put it in the oven. Most of it is cooked already, and you just put it in the pan. Do you some rice, and you might get some collard greens out the can. You may have to cut some corners. You know, if you still want to do it, you may have to cut corners. They sell greens in the can. If you can't pay nobody else to do it, and you're gonna buy some greens, get the can collard greens. Spruce them up. Spruce them up. Yeah. We may have to cut corners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. May have to cut corners or don't do tradition every year. I know one year we did a low country ball. Everybody was happy except my youngest son because he don't like seafood. But a friend of ours, well, our little sister Shonda, husband cooks a real good macaroni and cheese.
Yep.
They cooked dinner, so Jalen had their dinner, and the rest of us had low country ball, and everybody was happy. He don't even like to smell seafood, so he wasn't. He came in and we, you know, prayed and everything together, but everybody was kind of watching TV and doing their own thing anyway. So it doesn't always even have to be traditional. Whatever the family agrees to do, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and that's the thing too. We get so hung up on tradition. We get so hung up on you. We gotta do it because this how mom and them do it, and big mom and them did it like this, so I gotta do it like this too. And we really don't want to do it. I like tradition, but there's nothing wrong with going outside of it. I was fine that year we did low country ball. It was
Something.
I ate good. I was full, and it wasn't all that cleanup and stuff. We didn't have all that mess the next day. We started on something fresh the next day. So you don't have to get stuck on tradition, and that will help break the cycle too. You know, don't be forced into something that you don't want to do. If you're the one that's doing that cooking, then you can determine what you cook. Nobody can force
Yeah.
you to do anything.
Mhm.
They can either agree with what you cooking, or they don't have to eat at your house. That's just how I feel.
Yes.
You know, we love family and we want to, you know, appease people. But if I'm telling you, I want to do something different this year, I don't want to do all that cooking unless you're gonna help me cook. Don't feel like you can throw your opinion on me like, no, you need to cook so and so. No, I said what I'm gonna cook, and you ain't got to come to my house and eat. I still love you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's many ways you could do to not fall into that holiday humdrum of being just tired and worn out and not wanting to talk to people, looking at the call and say, oh, I just seen them. They came and ate up my food. Yeah, you should want to give your food because you done cooked all this mountain of food. You should want to come back and eat it until all of it's gone. And that's
Mhm.
the next thing. Don't save that food like that. Do not save all that food like that. People have,
Yes.
Trisha, was you one of them people?
No, I give it away.
Give it away. Yeah.
Oh,
Huh?
okay. It was somebody, and I can't think of it who it is right now, but somebody had food the next week, the week after Thanksgiving,
Oh
and the
no.
week after was still trying to hold on to that food. If
Mm-mm.
your family not that big, don't cook all that food like that.
Yeah.
That food.
Seriously.
Mm.
Yeah, just
All that.
don't do that. That's wasteful, and it's people
Yeah.
that's hungry. We had a conversation with me and Tamara today, and another my cousin, our sister April. We was talking about people are hungry. Ain't nobody got no food to throw away. You know,
Yes.
even if you got it to throw away, it's other things you could do with it. Don't cook all that stuff like that and
Mhm.
just have it in there and you eating
Yeah.
and you getting mad. Now you mad at the food because the food ain't don't look like it's going down. No, you have to monitor and you have to watch your hands. I'm heavy handed too, but I ain't gonna cook so much to where we days going on till the next week and I still got that holiday food. We have to. It's time to be mindful. We living in times where
Mhm.
things are scarce, money is tight, everybody's kind of hurting a little bit. Everybody ain't hurting, but it's some that's are and it's some that's hurting a lot. So we have to be mindful of the things we have, what we do with it. We don't need to be flaunting anything. You know, if you have it to spare, spare. If you don't, be in prayer for people because I honestly feel that we ain't seeing the cusp of anything yet. But I know that God's people are going to be okay.
Okay.
God is going to keep us covered. But there's not the time to panic either. We have to build that community to where we're looking out for one another. We have
Mhm.
to be in a place where we're not afraid to say,
Okay.
do you want something to eat? Is it a way I can help you? And not just worry about our house, but the community is everybody.
Yeah.
And back in the day, that's what it was. Everybody looked out for everybody. Everybody in the
Yes.
neighborhood, everybody knew everybody's name. Everybody's children played together. And I know now we don't live in that safer time. There was a safer time back then. We have to be careful with our children. But
Yes.
we also need to know how to extend ourselves, extend our love for people, and not be so guarded till we not even doing nothing except for our house.
Yes.
Yes. I totally agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, this has been nice. It's finally great. I
Yes.
kind of don't want to end because it's like the first of the first, but I know we're going to have many more. We're going to be coming on with different aspects. I'm even going to try to bring them on while when we have guests on so they can get like different views from the host and the co-host. So we're really going to do some things to really make season 5 pop
Yeah.
and we all could be encompassed together and do this. It's not going to be every episode you see the three of us, but I'm happy to have the two of them here with me because it's like we've been talking about it over a year and things just wasn't happening and then we had sidetracks and health issues and just all kind of things. Then we had technical issues and today God was ready for us to do it, so we did it.
Yes.
His time.
We did it.
Hey.
Y'all
Right.
got any parting things before we go? Any last things y'all want to say or any comments?
Yeah.
Whatever y'all want to add.
I just wanted to add too what I started doing. Like I said, doing something different. But if
Hmm.
I can do all of that, because I don't cook, like that. My mom used to do the majority of cooking,
Hmm.
but I don't cook, like that. So
Yeah,
then sometimes people will put all of that on. You put it on yourself, and then you feel bad because I wasn't able to do this, or wasn't able to do that for whatever reason. Don't feel bad. Do feel bad about it. Do what you can
right,
do. So I started looking at, and I've been doing that before, just looking at different recipes. Try to find something different, something new that you don't.
Mhm.
Just one thing. That's all it takes. It could be a
mm,
dessert. It could be a nice little punch or something different that you're gonna look forward to trying. You know, and try something different. I did an oyster casserole. That before that was different. You know, but just do something different. It got to be nothing major because a little small dessert or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to do, like I said, the tradition. I was gonna say that too. Traditionally, they cook all that food, and now that I'm older, I don't even want all that food. I don't even like to see that food. Give me some fruit.
Yes.
I'll be fine, But that's not that's not everybody.
Right.
But do what works for you. Do what's
Right.
best for you. So if you want to start preparing earlier and prepping your meals and all that, if that worked for you, then do that. But if it don't work for you, don't cook all that food.
Right.
Get
Right.
food
Awesome.
over for the following week and 2 weeks and stuff. Like you freezing food and all that stuff. It might taste the same. It might taste them greens once they sit and stuff. Hey, I say, and I don't cut greens. I do the greens in the bag. People say I don't eat no greens from the bag. I don't cut no greens. So you cut your greens. That's time consuming right there. I can take and wash my greens. I put up the bag. I wash my greens, and they just take just as fine. Get that dirt, whatever else, y'all. It's gonna be dirt on the greens you're cooking anyway. But wash that real good. And hey, take just fine. You have to do what's gonna work best for you, especially for those who have had health problems and health issues. Don't overdo it because this will feel even worse. So like try to find if you want to find something different, just to look for your good new recipe. You can go to Google and find a recipe, or go right to TikTok or one of them. They got some food. Cooking people, always share that you can learn a lot. Learn a lot of different recipes, and they don't have to keep it simple. You don't have to be. That's what tradition was. You had this big spread. You got every salad in the world. You got a turkey. You got a ham. You got a turkey wing. You got some ribs. You got some fried chicken.
What's the little one? The little Cornish
hen.
Got Cornish hens up there too. And they cost, the 2-pack cost like $11. So you got a whole bunch of them. You pay about $60 for a whole bunch of yeah, you're right.
Salads and all that. The can of crab meat costs about what? Almost $18 by itself sometimes. So a little can of crab meat. So you spending almost $80 or whatever on just the crab meat. I said, oh my goodness, that's just the one thing, So you have to be economical when it comes down, especially when you don't have the money for.
Exactly.
You have to add that part too, because you got to live. I always say you have to live after the holiday.
I'm glad you brought that up.
You have to be economical. It has to be economical. Don't spend all that. You got Christmas coming up, and then New Year's coming up. Don't spend everything you have. Don't spend what you have. Everything you have. You got to learn to cut back, because guess what? A lot of times all that food is not even good for you. You overeat it. You're bloated. You're sick. That's because of the food.
Yes. Love it.
No.
Yeah. Patricia, you got anything?
No, I really don't have anything else to say. I just want to say, just enjoy who you have with you. Enjoy yourself. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good. And don't forget, just try a little change. If you can start with a little, you might like it.
Exactly. Awesome. I do want to say that I would like us to do an episode before Christmas and talk about not doing all that spending and getting all that toys for them kids that's gonna break them up by January. Lord, I want to have a conversation about that. We do not need to go broke getting these kids stuff that they're gonna break up by January, February at the latest. All these expensive shoes that you pay for a name.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's just it's getting to a point to where and the kids know you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And you say, well, I ain't gonna get all that stuff because you tore it up last year. You tore it up for your birthday, and you get it, and they do the same thing. They tear it up. So that's back to that repetitiveness again, doing the same thing, getting the same results. The kids know you're gonna get it. They're gonna play with it for a hot minute, especially if it's something that they know their friends got. And then mid-January, they ain't even thinking about that no more.
No.
So yeah, I want us to come back before Christmas and do like that holiday episode, really encouraging people that we have to teach our kids to do different. And I ain't gonna get started talking about episode 9 because we'll be done got into a whole different thing. Because I really feel strongly about that. We have to
Yes.
teach the next generation. They don't have to spend like that. They don't have to spend all that money. Yeah, if you work hard, because I got a son that this boy works hard, Jamal. And yeah, he like to treat himself with stuff. He works hard, okay, but don't spend all your money treating yourself because you still got bills. And as we said for the holidays, you still got to live. You got to live after the holiday. We got to live past all these things. We think we got to get a big ticket item, and it wasn't money in the budget, but you made money in the budget, and now you hurting because you got this big ticket item, but what you gonna do about the rest of the bills? You know, the bills don't stop just because you say, "Oh, I wanted that really bad," or "I want to get my kids a whole lot of stuff for Christmas."
We have to
Kids
teach
need lights, kids need water, kids need a roof over their head, and I'm gonna cut that right there.
them
So,
one
yeah,
thing too.
yeah,
With the economy the way it is, we don't. Sometimes they don't think about saving. They used to talk about saving for a rainy day or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Nowadays, just
yeah.
spend. Oh, I could say buy that big ticket item because I really, really wanted it. But what about
Hmm.
next week? You get the next news. You don't know the next day
Right,
or the same day you get a call saying, "Well, hey, we had to lay you off." You know,
right, 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 right. And no emergency fund to fall back on.
no
We done
emergency.
spent the emergency fund, so when you get that call about getting laid off, we ain't got no money to fall back on. We was already living check to check, and you
Okay,
thinking that job is gonna be there, and I could, yeah, they need me, baby.
yeah,
These jobs don't need nobody.
they-
Everybody looking for work. They will replace you as quick as I can snap my fingers
Yes.
and get
Yes,
somebody
they
else in
will.
there. So
yes.
we have to do better financially, economically,
Mhm.
pray and ask God to help you. If you're challenged in that area, pray and ask God to help you with your finances, to
Yes.
help you budget your money and do right by it, to do the things that's necessary. It's okay to have fun sometimes, and because you don't want to just pay bills all the time. That gets, if you make that kind of money where you can keep your bills straight,
Mhm.
yeah, make sure your bills paid first though.
That's
Don't
right.
pay first.
Good.
Make sure your bills paid first. And then go ahead and okay, I got some extra money. I want to take myself out to eat. I want to go off for the weekend. I'm gonna get me a hotel room to spend time with me. It's ways to do it
But
to where you're not always working and paying bills, but you got to pay your bills. That's just life. That's one thing rich people have, poor people have, the median income people have. Everybody have bills. That's
mm,
the commonality, and we must pay them, or something's gonna be off. That's just the gist of it. So let's be smart with our money going into Christmas. I'm glad this is on the tail end of this episode, so you get a little bit of being prepared for Christmas. Um, and we just want you to be okay. We want you and your families to be okay. We don't want nobody, the suicide rate is highest
Yes, it
between
is.
indeed.
January 15th till April. The
Mm,
suicide rate is the highest because you done put all them lights on your house for Christmas, and some people put their lights up the end of October.
right.
So you got all these lights, and here go your light bill. We have to be more
Mhm.
conscious about what we're doing. I ain't trying to impress my neighbors because my neighbors ain't helping me with my mortgage. It's
Mhm.
nice to look at, but you got to think if you can't afford that, don't do that.
Don't do it.
So don't do it.
Do
Just
it.
don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Don't make it harder than it already is. And before we go, we just want to say that we have Trisha. I'm sorry you didn't get yours, but if you had came, you would have got this delicious. This is tea that tastes like Kool-Aid. It's what it is, anti-inflammatory drink.
It's
That's
the
what she
peace.
said, inflammation or something like that.
Also
But
information.
yeah, one of our sisters, cousin
Okay.
April Mixon Jones does this. She does different tea. She just does a lot. But this thing was so delicious, and I'm not really a tea drinker, but this tastes like Kool-Aid. It
Yeah.
could be a replacement for Kool-Aid. Her podcast is called Sugar's Honeyed Iced Tea. Sugar and Shonda's Honey Iced Tea. So look them up as well. But if April Mixon Jones for the drink, it is delicious. So we did a shameless promo for her. But I'm sure she'll appreciate it. So
Yeah.
if you would like to send us an email, send it to a woman soul restored at gmail.com. The website is www.livelifenowlovelifenow.net, and the Facebook page is a woman soul restored. We're still trying to get these likes and subscribes on YouTube. If you see us, don't just watch, like and subscribe. We got some good information on here for you all. And
Yeah.
share, let people know what we're doing. We're trying to enrich the body, the kingdom, trying to get the word out. You do not have to be stressed. You do not have to be bogged down by anything, because our God is about freedom. He wants
Yeah.
us to be free totally from the inside out. So join us, click on like, subscribe, and share. So for a woman soul restored, I am Latonia Y. Hendry, and my co-host, if y'all can just say goodbye.
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 Happy.
Goodbye. Y'all be blessed and get ready for Christmas.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.